Okay? External rotation, sorry. Flexion, adduction, external rotation. Okay? As many of you guys might notice, this is not a lot of flexion, adduction across the face. Okay, let's all do it together. Flexion, I can flex, adduct, and externally rotate. Okay? As many of you guys know, this is not a lot of external rotation. Right? But these motions are all relative. This is a lot of external rotation relative to this internal rotation. Does it make sense? There's not a lot, but relatively it's a lot of motion. So our first pattern is our D1 flexion pattern. It becomes flexion, adduction, external rotation. And also our extension, abduction, IR. Okay? That's our first diagonal. If we delve in it a little deeper, okay? We're in our D1 flexion pattern. If we look at it, our scap, we're going to go to our shoulder. Flexion, abduction, external rotation. Elbow, extended. Forearm, supinated. Wrist, radial extension. Right? Radial extension. Fingers, extension, and radial deviation. And thumb and, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
And thumb extension, abduction. Okay? So you guys are responsible for what happens at every joint. When we're working with a lot of our patients, are we worried about every single joint? No. Right? Do you guys need to know what happens every single joint?
Yes.
Okay? So it all depends on the patient, how complex your activity need be. Okay? So flexion, abduction, external rotation, supination, radial deviation, wrist extension, right, and so forth. Okay? You guys need to be able to identify all those different components as you're going through. Early on, the stages, I'm not worried about all of this early on. What am I worried about in the beginning? Flexion, abduction, external rotation. Okay? You get this motion, and he's like flexing, external rotating. I'm like, oh, you're getting that really well. Make sure you turn that thumb up, get that supination, make sure you turn that wrist to the side. Okay? So I'm generating that motion with him as you go through. Same thing as we go down. And we can then we come to our same patterns. Passive, do it with me, do it on your own, do it with resistance. Okay? Those are the same patterns. Okay? What becomes difficult when using the whole upper extremity is my hand placement. Okay? So we're staying with our D1 pattern. Okay? Go. We stay with our D1 pattern. And I say, hey, this is the pattern I want you to go. Okay? I know if he's moving this way, I have to move that way too. So I say, hey, push into my hand. Push into my hand. Right? What's wrong with what I'm doing? So much contact, right? So you can be pushing here, pushing here, pushing here. And again, it's going to be easier for us because we know what we want each other to do. When you have a patient with poor proprioception, say they have sensory, say they have a dorsal column injury, and they don't know where their arm is in space, all they can do is feel you. Okay? And your tactile becomes uber important. Okay? So I'm here. Say, hey, push into my hands. Push. And what I need to generate? He's here. So I'm getting the flexion, abduction, external. So push into my hand. There we go. Right? So for every, I gotta move my hands in no direction, or I feel I can give him more input. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, and just follow my hand. Push into my hand. So I can guide him, push into my hand, wherever I want, and he's gonna go wherever my input takes him. Okay? So keep your eyes closed. Do it again, push into my hand. And push, 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 push. Right? Wherever he's gonna go. Right? And that's why for me, and we talked about earlier, why I rotate around the palms of my hands, because you get your eyes open now. If I say push, I don't like ending up here sometimes, because I still get so much input, people switch. So instead of push into my hands, I just kind of just rotate with them. Okay? That make sense? I rotate with them. I still get that same contact, still direction, same direction. And I get that rotation as we're going. Generate that force. And that's the hard part you guys are going to go fix. Okay? If I want to come down, the same thing. Push into my hand. Push, 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 push. Push down, push down, push down. And I generate that force where I want him to go. If I see I'm having a lot of trouble for him carrying the direction I want him to go, what am I going to do? Go back to my rhythmic initiation so he gets a sense of that motion. Okay? So let's all do it together now. Alright, one person.